Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. Today I will give a lecture on a Module 3 entitled Agile Software Development. This module will be divided into 4 submodules including Agile Methods, Agile Development Techniques, Agile Project Management, and Scaling Agile Methods. At the end of this module, I hope you all are able, first, to understand the rationale for Agile software development methods, its manifesto, and the differences between Agile and plan-driven development. Second, to recognize the importance of Agile development techniques and practices. Third, to understand the Scrum approach in Agile project management. Finally, to be aware of the issues of scaling Agile development methods. Let's look at the first submodule, which is Agile methods. As introduction, the illustration summarizes the difference between the waterfall method and Agile method, where you can see that Agile method will have several versions of deliverable for each iteration compared to waterfall method. Businesses now operate in a global, rapidly changing environment. Therefore, rapid software development and delivery is the most critical requirement for most business systems. Plan-driven software development processes are not geared to rapid software development. As the requirements change, the system has to be reworked and retested. As a consequence, a conventional waterfall is usually a lengthy one. Therefore, development processes that focus on rapid software development and delivery are essential. Faster software development really took off in the late 1990s with the development of the idea of agile methods. These agile methods are designed to produce useful software quickly. All of the agile methods that have been proposed share a number of common characteristics, including: first, the process of specification, design, and implementation are interleaved. Second, the system is developed in a series of increments. And the last one, extensive tool support is used to support the development process. Agile methods involve customers in the development process to get rapid feedback on changing requirements. This will minimize documentation since they are using informal communications rather than formal meetings with written documents. Figure shows the essential distinctions between plan-driven and agile approaches to system specification. In a plan-driven software development process, iteration occurs within activities with formal documents used to communicate between stages of the process. However, in an agile approach, iteration occurs across activities. Therefore, the requirements and the designs are developed together rather than separately. In practice, plan-driven processes are often used along with agile programming practices, and agile methods may incorporate some planned activities apart from programming and testing. It is perfectly feasible in a plan-driven process to allocate requirements and plan the design and development phase as a series of increments. An agile process is not certainly code-focused, and it may produce some design documentation. Thus, Agile developers may decide that an iteration should not produce a new code, but rather should produce system models and documentation. Method selection are based on an assessment of agility-oriented and plan-driven risks. The risk associated with an inappropriate choice of project methodology is reduced by first assessing project factors to determine how well the project fits with either the agile or the plan-driven method. Methodology selection is determined by an assessment of five critical factors, namely personnel, criticality, size, culture, and dynamism, which are measured on a scale from pure plan-driven to pure agile. The collective match on all five project factors, typically illustrated by superimpose a radar plot, determines the profile of the project. The use of critical factors and a risk-based approach offers insightful guidelines for us who approach system development from within the confines of a single favorite methodology. Therefore, it may lack an appreciation of how to achieve a methodologically successful project. Table shows the difference between each method features in terms of customer involvement, project scope, and project prioritization. Besides, they also can be differentiated in terms of themes and funding features. From the table, you can see that both methods has their own pros and cons. Plan-driven approach was developed for software developed by large teams and working for different companies. However, when this approach is applied to small and medium-sized business systems, the overhead involved is so large. More time is spent on how the system should be developed rather than on program development and testing. Dissatisfaction with this approach leads to the development of agile methods. These methods allow the development team to focus on the software itself rather than on its design and documentation. Besides, they are best suited to application development where the system requirements usually change rapidly during the development process. Next, they are intended to deliver working software quickly to customers who can then propose new and changed requirements to be included in later iteration of the system. Lastly, they aim to cut down on process bureaucracy by avoiding work that has uncertain long-term value and eliminate documentation that will probably never be used. The philosophy behind Agile methods is reflected in the Agile Manifesto issued by the leading developers of these methods. This manifesto emphasizes on, first, individuals and interactions rather than processes and tools. Second, working software rather than comprehensive documentation. Third, customer collaboration rather than contract negotiation. And the last one, responding to change rather than following a plan. All agile methods suggest that software should be developed and delivered incrementally. These methods are based on different agile processes, but they share a set of principles based on the Agile Manifesto. Therefore, they have much in common as shown in the table. Agile methods have been particularly successful for two kinds of system development. First, product development, where a software company is developing a small or medium-sized product for sale. Second, custom system development within an organization where there is a clear commitment from the customer to become involved in the development process and where there are few external stakeholders and regulations that affect the software.